My name is Jennifer, and I'm an ER nurse. On Christmas Eve, I was pulling a brutal double shift, 16 hours straight, dealing with all the holiday chaos. Car accidents, heart attacks, you name it. Meanwhile, my parents, like they always do, were hosting their massive Christmas dinner. We're talking 20-plus people, aunts, uncles, cousins, the whole 9 yards. My daughter, Emma, she was absolutely buzzing with excitement. She's 16, and she had gone all out, bought presents for everyone, even baked a fresh batch of chocolate chip cookies. She was even wearing her brand new, totally ridiculous ugly Christmas sweater. I dropped her off at my folks' place around 4 p.m., just before my shift started. I told her, "Have a blast, sweetie. I'll pick you up tomorrow morning. Take tons of pictures for me, okay?" She gave me a tight hug. "Love you, Mom. Don't work yourself to death tonight." I honestly thought she was going to have the best Christmas ever. I was so wrong. Around 8 p.m., right in the middle of treating a victim from a car crash, my phone buzzed. It was a text from Emma. My stomach clenched. "Mom," it read, "they said there's no room for me at the table. Grandma told me I have to go home. I'm driving back now." My heart just dropped. No room? I mean, there were at least 20 people crammed into that house. How on earth could there be no space for my kid? The second I had a free moment, I called her. She picked up, her voice already thick with tears. "Mom, I don't get it. Everyone else is sitting down for dinner. Grandma pulled me aside and said they didn't set a place for me. That it's adults only this year." Adults only? Emma's 16. She's family. What about the other kids? "There are no other kids this year," she sniffled. "All my cousins are in college or older now. Aunt Rachel's twins are here, but even they're 19. My blood was starting to boil. "Where's your grandfather? Where's Aunt Lisa? Are they all just sitting there?" "Yeah," she said, her voice small. Nobody said anything when Grandma told me to leave. Dad's sister just looked at me and shrugged. Dad's sister. My sister, Sarah. Wait, Sarah was there? I asked, a new wave of realization hitting me. "Yeah," Emma confirmed. "She brought her new boyfriend. He's sitting in what I thought was my seat." I couldn't breathe. My own sister. My own parents. They kicked out my daughter on Christmas, their granddaughter, so Sarah's new boyfriend could have a chair? "Emma, sweetheart, I am so sorry," I whispered, my voice breaking. "Drive carefully, okay? I'll be home as soon as my shift ends." Her next words were a knife to my heart. "Mom, it's Christmas. I'm going to be alone all night in an empty house." "I know, baby," I choked out, tears stinging my eyes. "I'm so sorry. Lock the doors. Order whatever you want for dinner. I'll make this right. I promise." I hung up and finished the rest of my shift on pure autopilot, fueled by an icy, seething fury. Before I tell you exactly what I did next, and trust me, it was something I'd been building up to for years, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. More stories like this are coming, and you won't want to miss them. To understand why this hit me so hard, why I reacted the way I did, we have to go back a bit. Growing up, I was always the responsible one. The good daughter. The one who became a nurse, worked crazy hours, never, ever complained. My sister, Sarah? Total opposite. She bounced from job to job, from boyfriend to boyfriend, leaving a trail of drama everywhere she went. But somehow, she was always the favorite. My mom and dad always had an excuse for her. Sarah's still finding herself. Sarah's going through a rough patch. Sarah needs our support right now. Meanwhile, I was raising Emma alone after her father walked out when she was 2. I worked 60-hour weeks, paid all my own bills, never asked for help. Did my parents throw me a parade? No. It was just expected. When Emma was born, my parents were thrilled. Their first grandchild. They promised to be there for us. And for a while, they were. Babysitting, birthday parties, school events. But then Sarah started having problems, money troubles, relationship drama, and suddenly, everything became about her. Emma noticed even as a little kid. She'd ask, "How come Grandma and Grandpa don't come to my dance recital anymore?" I'd say, "Oh, sweetie, they're busy helping Aunt Sarah." But then she'd hit me with, "But they came to her new boyfriend's birthday party." I had no good answer for that. Over the years, it just got worse. Emma would get overlooked, forgotten, pushed aside, always whenever Sarah needed attention. But this Christmas? This was a whole new level of messed up. Let me tell you what led up to that night. 3 weeks before Christmas, my mom called. "Jennifer, we're doing Christmas dinner at our place, as usual. You're working the bar that night, right?" "Yeah, double shift," I confirmed. "But Emma will be there." "Oh, well, that's fine," she said a little too quickly. "Sarah's bringing her new boyfriend, Marcus. We're so excited to meet him." "That's great, Mom," I replied, trying to ignore the prickle of unease. Emma's really looking forward to it, too. She's already bought gifts for everyone. Okay. Well, we'll see you both soon. Something about that conversation just fell off, but I shrugged it off.
I was swamped.
2 days before Christmas, Sarah called me. "Hey, Jen, just a heads up," she said, all casual. "Mom and Dad are making Christmas dinner really fancy this year. Like, sit-down, formal dinner party vibes." "Okay," I said, confused. "Emma will be fine. She knows how to behave." I know. Sarah hurried. "I just thought you should know it's going to be more of an adult thing this year." "Sarah, Emma's 16. She's practically an adult."
Sure.
"I'm just saying. I should have seen the neon red flags. I should have. But I was drowning in holiday ER shifts. I didn't have time to decode Sarah's cryptic warnings." Christmas Eve arrived. I got to the hospital at noon for my double shift. Emma and I had opened our presents that morning, just the two of us. Hot chocolate, Christmas music, it was perfect. "I'm going to miss you tonight, Mom," she'd said. "I know, baby. But you'll have fun with the family. Eat way too much turkey. Play games with the cousins." She'd looked a little down. "Most of my cousins aren't coming this year. It'll probably just be me and Aunt Sarah and her new boyfriend." "Well, Grandma and Grandpa will be thrilled to have you there. Go have fun. Text me pictures." She'd smiled, grabbed her bag of gifts, and off she went. Then I went to work. The ER was absolute chaos. Heart attacks, car crashes, kids who ate too much candy. The usual holiday mayhem. Around 8 p.m., things finally slowed down a tiny bit. I checked my phone during a break. That's when I saw Emma's text. "Mom, they said there's no room for me at the table. Grandma told me I have to go home. I'm driving back now." I read it 3 times. My brain literally couldn't process it. My hand was shaking as I called her immediately. "Emma, what happened?" I demanded. She was crying so hard, she could barely talk. I got there at 5. Everyone was already here. Aunt Sarah introduced me to Marcus. He seemed nice. I helped Grandma set the table. "Okay," I urged. "And then what?" Then Grandma finished counting chairs. She looked at me and said, "Oh, Emma, I'm so sorry, sweetheart. We miscounted. There's no extra seat for you. It's adults only tonight." She actually said that. I thought she was joking, but she wasn't. She pointed to Marcus sitting at the table and said, "He's our guest." And then she told me I'd understand when I'm older. I was seeing red. Where was Grandpa during this? Just sitting there. He said, "Sorry, kiddo. Maybe next year." And Sarah? She didn't even look at me. Just sat down next to Marcus and started talking about wine or something. My daughter, my 16-year-old daughter, kicked out on Christmas because my sister's flavor of the month boyfriend needed a chair. "Emma, I'm so sorry. Are you home now?"
"Yeah."
"The house is dark. Cold. I turned on the Christmas tree lights, but it's just me." I could hear her trying so hard not to cry. "Order a pizza," I said, my voice tight. "Watch whatever you want on TV. I'll be home the second my shift ends. I promise you." "Okay. Love you, Mom." "Love you too, baby." I finished my shift running on pure, unadulterated rage. By 6 a.m. Christmas morning, my shift finally ended. I was physically drained, emotionally raw, and absolutely seething. I didn't go home. Instead, I drove straight to my parents' house. All their cars were still there. Everyone had stayed overnight, just like I expected.
Perfect.
I pulled out an envelope I'd prepared, walked right up to their front door, and taped it smack in the middle, where they couldn't possibly miss it. Then I got back in my car and left. 2 hours later, my phone started exploding. My mom, my dad, my sister Sarah, all calling, all screaming. I didn't answer a single one. Finally, a voicemail from my mom. Her voice was shrill, spitting fire. "Jennifer, how dare you? How dare you do this to us on Christmas? Call me back right now." Then one from my dad. "Jennifer, this is completely unacceptable. We need to talk about this immediately." And Sarah? Oh, Sarah's voicemail was a masterpiece. "Jen, what the hell? You're being totally unreasonable. Call me back." I deleted every single one. And then I blocked all their numbers. Every single one. When I finally got home, Emma looked at me, her eyes wide. "Mom, what did you do?" she asked, a hint of fear in her voice. "What I should have done a very long time ago, baby," I told her, holding her close. "You want to know what was in that envelope?" It was a letter, typed.
Clear.
No emotion, just cold, hard facts. "To Mom, Dad, and Sarah, last night, you told my 16-year-old daughter there was no room for her at Christmas dinner. You chose Sarah's new boyfriend, a man you'd just met, over your own granddaughter. Emma spent Christmas alone in an empty house while I worked a double shift saving lives in the ER. Let me make something very clear. That was the last time you will ever see or speak to Emma or me. Don't call. Don't text. Don't show up at her house. You made your choice. Now live with it. Also, since you clearly value guests over family, here's a little gift. I'm canceling the check I write you every month. The $500 I've been sending to help with your mortgage?
Done.
You want to play favorites? You can afford to. Merry Christmas, Jennifer." My parents, of course, absolutely lost their minds. They showed up at my house 3 days later, banging on the door. I didn't answer. They sent my aunts and uncles to guilt-trip me. Family is family, Jennifer. You can't just cut them off. I just looked them dead in the eye and said, "Watch me." Sarah tried to apologize, sending me a long, rambling text about how she didn't realize it was such a big deal. I blocked her too. My mom cried to anyone who would listen that I was being cruel and heartless. But here's the thing, I gave them chance after chance after chance. Years of overlooking how they treated Emma. That Christmas, that was the final, agonizing straw. You don't kick a 16-year-old out on Christmas. You don't prioritize a complete stranger over your own granddaughter. And if you do, you don't get to be surprised when there are consequences. Emma, by the way, she's doing great. She was hurt, of course. Angry, confused. But we got through it, together. We started our own Christmas traditions. Just the two of us. Sometimes her friends join us. It's small. It's quiet. It's absolutely perfect. This year, on Christmas Eve, Emma said something that made tears spring to my eyes. She looked at me, a genuine smile on her face, and said, "Mom, I'm actually glad it's just us. I don't need Grandma and Grandpa. I have you." And I told her, "You'll always have me, baby. Always." My parents still try to reach out. Birthdays, holidays, they even send messages through other relatives, begging me to reconsider. I don't respond. Some bridges, once burned, stay burned. And you know what? I am completely, utterly okay with that. Thank you so much for listening to my story. If this resonated with you, if you've ever had to draw a hard line with family, please smash that like button and subscribe. And tell me in the comments, what would you have done in my place? Have you ever had to choose yourself or your children over toxic family? I really want to know what you think. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.